give this a shot. You have to click on the video. So it should be working just fine. Make sure, can you right here? Okay, so I'm sorry, I don't know what was going on there. But, and I think lately, for every time I've seen a live video lately, I think it's a Facebook thing. The first few minutes or 60 seconds or so are silent. I've been seeing that on pretty much every live video. I'm wondering if it's a Facebook glitch. But thank you for coming back. I'm sorry about that little glitch there. So I'm so excited to share with you guys today about this process, this whole entire process of starting people out on their journey, starting yourself out on this journey, setting some big goals, and then having the patience and the trust in our company and the belief in these products. So I feel particularly lucky to share on this topic because when I started coaching, I had never done a challenge group, never tried Shakeology, never done a program. I was definitely not the Beachbody poster child. I was a school counselor for 12 years, and that was what I went to grad school for. And I loved that career, but I also didn't pay very well. Public ed, shocker, right? Doesn't pay super well. And what I was also having to do was wait tables, nights and weekends. So that was like 3 a.m. on the weekends, midnight during the weekdays. Seasonally, I worked as a raft guide and a rock climbing instructor and an outdoor educator for the city of Eugene in Oregon. And I also taught kids yoga. So I wasn't afraid, I wasn't a stranger to hard work and having a lot of stuff going on. In fact, I kind of thrived off of being busy. But I also was starting to get more and more disenchanted with adulting as I got older. I was in my early 30s, 3 years ago when I first started this business. So I just turned 37. And I was really feeling stuck and disenchanted and kind of like just a little bummed out about just where I thought I would be by that point, or in my 20s. I was often having to play that Russian roulette game of what bill can I pay late this month, or you know, did I pay late last month? And I just knew that that wasn't really what I wanted my life to look like. I've never been someone to settle or resign myself to a fate or anything like that. But yeah, I found myself just kind of saying, well, maybe this is what this is going to be like. So I jumped into this coaching opportunity because I saw it as a way to maybe stop waiting tables, to have a little bit of freedom over some of the hours of my week instead of having to beg for time off at the bar or the restaurant on the weekends, and just stop being so sick and tired all the time because it was literally running myself super ragged, and I was sick all the time. So this came as an opportunity for a business. I didn't necessarily, I probably would have never joined a challenge group. To be honest, I loved going to the gym. I'm a yogi. I went to my yoga studio several times a week. I don't like to cook, but I also was not a shake person. Didn't want to drink my food, as my coach said. But I did want to be successful at this. I did really want to give it an honest go. So I opened myself up to embracing these products. So because I do feel like I feel strongly about the importance of leading by example and leading with authenticity. And I wouldn't want to ever advocate for a product I didn't personally believe in. So I embraced it, but I didn't come in already on that continuing that I'm going to talk about today. So first off, before I kind of keep going, I would love to know who I'm talking to today. So real quick in the comments, where do you live? Who are you? What is your rank? How long have you been coaching? And do you have any big goals for the end of this year? So really, I want to know how long have you been coaching, what your current rank is, and what your goal and you're shooting for by the end of this year. I'm looking at the comments here. I'm so glad you guys can hear me now. And thank you for taking your time out of your morning or day, afternoon, to spend some time with me. Okay, so keep those comments coming, those intros, and let me know who you're at. So I jumped into this business, like I said, without any experience, and I fumbled my way through. The first few months, I really struggled. I started with T25 and it was a little too intense for my body. And I felt like Shakeology was making me gain weight because I wasn't cutting out any other calories. And I really did miss my yoga studio. I felt like I had to be an all or nothing person, and so I really struggled to find my footing there. I am loving these intros. Thank you for sharing. Keep coming. Fast forward 3 years from now. I am now a 6-star diamond coach in my first business center, a 3-star in my second business center, and a 2-time elite coach. My third business center is diamond, and then my team Waldering, has been in the top 100 for 3 years. This is our 3rd year, and we've been hovering around the top 35 spot this entire year. So I feel like I kind of had some pretty humble beginnings. I didn't know what Success Club was my first 2 months. I really struggled. I didn't hit Emerald until I was a few months in, and Diamond for quite a bit after that. And so I really had to give this patience and time, and that's really what I wanted to share and talk and kind of front load everything with today, is the importance of giving this time and really being honest with yourself and patient with yourself at every step of the game. I honestly, like, when I found out the company's name was Beachbody, I actually had a little knee-jerk reaction, like, oh, that doesn't align with my vision. Like, Beachbody, I don't have a Beachbody. I don't aspire for a Beachbody. And like I said, I was really, I was kind of crunchy Oregon girl, and so I wanted to make sure I was eating organic and healthy food, but at the same time, I really wanted a way out. And so I knew I had to really find that belief in this. So I'm going to take a minute here and look at you guys. Awesome. I'm so excited to meet you guys. And so I see a lot of emeralds and people shooting for diamonds. So that's perfect, because a lot of the notes that I prepared today are for you guys. And so this belief for me started as a challenger. Once I started my business, I had to jump in, and I started running challenge groups right away. But I also was a participant in a challenge group early on too. So before I kind of break this down through the continuum, I want to just give you guys some encouragement that this is a continuum, this is a process, and this does take time. You know, it's the expression, this is not a marathon, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon, and I feel like this business is completely in tune with that. Okay, you have to really commit and invest yourself for the long haul here if you want to see big gains and big growth, because it's not going to happen in the first couple of months. It might not even happen in your first year. We do ask that you commit to being here, you know, hashtag be here in 1 year, because this does take time. But what my goal is for you today is to see a bigger picture so that you move and transition from the be here in 1 years to lifers, because that's what I am. I will never walk away from this business. I had to be honest with my own bias and my own judgments myself in order to grow, and as will you. And so the journey that you're on is a process. We're going to be hearing more in the next couple months about the vital process that breaks down our vital behaviors. And I feel like it is vital that you are patient with this process, and that you don't skip steps with this process, and you expect failure and struggle, and you expect and prepare yourself for that bad weather. And I don't say that to scare you off, but I feel like sometimes people come in thinking it's all going to be rainbows and sunshine and butterflies every single day. And I don't know, I've never had a job ever in my life like that. But I know that, and I had never been an entrepreneur prior to coaching, but I know that being an entrepreneur is not like that either. So I'm going to ask that you sit with yourself at some point today and talk with yourself about the importance of patience, okay, of giving it time, and having and faithing it till you make it. You can say fake it till you make it. I prefer faith it till you make it, and know that you can be successful. You will be successful with this, but you have to really own this. So what I have done is we're going to spell the word belief 3 different times. So if you want to be a dork like me and fold a picture, if you're a note taker, you can do 3 different pieces of paper, or you can just fold your paper, and we're going to spell belief. And we're going to go through belief, how to instill belief in your customers, in your new coaches, and in your leaders, okay? So let me make sure I'm not missing. I'm going to pause after each one for questions. And thank you so much for sharing. I know, I see a lot of new coaches in here. You guys, be here and win here. This takes time, and you have to show up and work hard to earn this too. This won't just happen to you. It doesn't just come and slap you over the face. For you got to kind of dig in. And so there are a lot of, especially as you grow, there's going to be a lot of plates spinning. I think of those like comedy shows where there are plates spinning on the poles. And so I kind of feel like that is the continuum of this business too. And the larger you grow, the stronger you become of a leader, the bigger your team, the more those plates will continue to spin. But it also becomes more habitual. It also becomes part of your comfort zone. And so you don't have to jump into the deep end and figure it all out. You just take it one day at a time and have faith that it'll become easy. The first 6 months to a year is a heavy learning phase for you. And so if you're in that, I'm just talking about this because I see some of you saying you're new coaches and you're frustrated, but you haven't really been around long enough to be super frustrated, okay? And so, and I say that with love, but you have to give this time and really earn this. So for customers and challengers, okay, we're going to go through and talk about belief. So the first B is be proof the products work. Okay, so as a coach, you should be running challenge groups. You can be co-leading them with other coaches, co-leading them with your upline coach, but you have to be proof the products work. And that means showing your results, showing your working out, showing the adding value around Shakeology on your social media. But in those challenge groups, okay, you need to be proof the products work in terms of that you're push and play every day, that you're getting results, that you're eating clean, that you're drinking your shake, that you're using your containers, that you're leading by example in your groups. I think that you're going to also build that credibility and that trust the more you post publicly about that. You shouldn't just be only posting about fitness. Make sure there's a varying amount of content and your lifestyle post, your personality, your family, but be showing that you are leading by example, that you are helping people use the same products you are using. That builds trust and legitimacy, but also shows that you are going to be continuing to grow yourself too. But by doing that in your challenge groups, you are showing challengers what their actions and their activities should look like. Your goal is to instill those vital behaviors of a challenger, but you got to, just like we have vital behaviors of coaching, and show, your challenge groups are a great opportunity to showcase you using the boosts and the performance line, and then sharing how it's helping you. Okay, you're talking about that old you to the new you and how these products, how these experiences are helping grow you and change you. Okay, and how it's helping you overcome bad habits. And you're just showing your growth. You don't have to have it perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to be at your goal weight, of course. It's just showing that you're transitioning and you're leading by example, because your challengers, your customers, need to see that you get them, that you are walking in their shoes too, that you're partnering with them and linking arms, so that they feel safe in the struggle. And I think the more you can be real and you can share when you're having a bad day and you don't want to push play, things like that, you will build that credibility and they'll get, oh, she gets me. Okay, so the E in the belief is educate. Knowledge is power. Okay, educate your clients, educate your customers and your challengers on clean eating, how to meal prep. I do a nutrition nuggets template that I created a long time ago that's in all my challenge groups, and we do daily different facts about different Shakeology ingredients. How to shop in the grocery store, what you should buy organic and not organic, what eating by the rainbow is, how to use the containers, how to understand what adaptogens and digestive enzymes and phytonutrients and probiotics. Educate your challengers so that they can, and then link it back to what they're getting in the vegetables in the meal plan, what they're getting in Shakeology, why Power Greens Boost is going to help them. Educate them so that they can internalize, make those connections with the results that they're getting. Then share your successes with those products and educate them on how it's helping you with your hair, your skin, your sleep, your mood, your energy. Okay, and again, you can be posting it publicly too. I use a lot of the same content for my public posts as I do in my challenge groups. And you're building value around this. You're helping people see that their getting results and seeing progress because of what they're doing and the tools that you've given them. Okay, so BEL in belief is live events. Yes, live events for your clients. You got to build community, okay? So one thing I want to talk about, this is my counselor brain on really fast. We all, so Maslow's hierarchy of basic needs. As human beings, we have the need for food, water, shelter, safety, security, but we also, one of those basic needs, okay, as you go through that hierarchy as a triangle, is to belong. We all have a need to belong, and that's something that a lot of folks struggle with not having the older they get. Because maybe they're busy with their family, or the only community they have now is their work environment, and it's not a positive, happy place. Maybe their friends have all moved or starting families, and we just, we all get it. As we get older, it's harder to find that close group of people. We're not in school or clubs or sports anymore. And so what these challenge groups can be is a community. It can be a place for you to help people connect with one another and belong. You could make live events out of that. And again, I work with people all over the country, and so not everyone's going to benefit from a live fit club in my community, but many will, and it'll show my team, and it'll show my other coaches that I'm co-leading with, they can do fit clubs. Go on a grocery store walk, take local clients to the grocery store and show them how to shop around the perimeter of the store. Organize with some other friends or local coaches a workout in the park where the kids play, and you guys just take some of your favorite insanity moves and do them in the park together. You can create live events in your challenge group too, and do a kickoff Zoom or a virtual fit club in the morning where everyone is doing their own workout, but you connect them via Zoom, and so we're all push and play at the same time. Give some fun and fresh energy. One of my challenge groups, we're going to be doing like the Fixate. We're going to do Fixate Live together, the Fixate cooking show. We're going to prep and pick a meal from Fixate Cooking Channel and get our groceries bought ahead of time, and then cook together, like a virtual cooking class together. So build some community around that, okay? Inform yourself about them. So BELI, the I in belief, is inform yourself about them. Now this is something that actually backs up to even before they're your client or your customer. What are their goals, big and small? What is your first month goal going to be with them? But what is their big goal? What is their goal 6 months from now or a year from now? What do you, get to know them, okay? Know what their fears are, their goals, their motivation, their objections. Sometimes you need to invest in them first before they're ready to invest in a challenge group. So offer free challenge groups that help them get some simple wins. Maybe they don't think that they can they're not motivated or accountable enough to check in every day. So give them a 5-day clean eating group or a walking group or a water group and show them that this process is really simple and simplify it for them. Focus on informing yourself about them so that you can then help them set a game plan that's going to get them through those fears and objections and start to believe in themselves and believe in this process. I actually have my clients and my challengers, I invite them to read personal development in our challenge groups too. Some of those books are The Compound Effect. I love having clients read The Compound Effect. The 4 Agreements. This book changed my life. You can have them read The Magic of Thinking Big or You're a Badass, my last group. Those were 2 of our options. And I mean, there's so many. There are so many, like Brene Brown. It just kind of depends on each one, or maybe if you have a theme to your challenge group. But I do encourage my customers and my clients to do growth along with me. Again, you're instilling those basic vital behaviors of a challenger, but that's also the vital behaviors of a coach. So you're starting to build belief in this process, in this continuum, and help them see success around these basic things, because we know, personal development, fitness, clean eating, those are the pillars, okay? Those are the pillars of our business. So we're going to build some successes around that, and then success breeds more success. When you feel successful in something, you want to do it more, and it's motivating. So you find those little wins, okay? And continue to inform yourself about them. We do a daily check-in every day in my challenge groups where we ask questions and accountability check-ins. So every evening it's the daily check-in. It's, what level of intensity did you have your workout today? Or what was your workout? Or what liquids did you drink today? What did you struggle with this week? And so, giving them that opportunity to weigh in so you can see how they're doing. And then I also add in like a community building question too, so I can get to know them a little better, and we can make those points of connection, heart to heart. Like show a picture of your fur babies, or what have you seen any good movies lately, or what's your favorite Halloween tradition, things like that. And so inform yourself by them. Elevate, okay, is the E in belief. And that is recognize. There's a reason why it's our fourth vital behavior. Recognize your people. Okay, give them simple wins and encourage them when you see them doing those simple wins. If they made it a whole week of drinking their Shakeology, the app makes it really simple to see who's logging in every day and who's like, celebrate that, recognize that, give them a shout out, empower them by recognizing them, show them love. I also will send, I made these on Vistaprint. You can do these really simple. I mail postcards to my challengers and my clients a few weeks in, or sometimes it depends on how organized I am. Sometimes early on. I got these great little things at Target a long time ago, and I bought a bunch. But they're just these little cards. You can write a little note. They open it up, and then just special little note. It's like a little Valentine. It's like a Valentine's, but it's about belief and dreaming. Okay, and so I'll send those sometimes with little, with like a little, just a little add a girl or add a boy and a pick me up, a bit of love, okay? Because you want to give people that feel good. Okay, and the last F for this customer belief is fellowship and fun. Okay, fun. We all need to be having fun, right? And so what are you doing to make your challenge groups fun? And I promise you, if you aren't having fun, then they're not having fun. So find ways to keep this fun for you. Like I said, I didn't come into this business as a challenger. Challenge groups are not my favorite thing personally. That's just me being honest. So I've had to learn how to cultivate love for challenge groups. I create a lot of fun free groups that are really reflective of what I like. I add PD because I was a counselor, and that is part of me. So I like helping people grow interpersonally. We play games in my challenge groups, like Have You Ever, Two Truths and a Lie, and it's just a way to keep it, you could do a plank challenge, a squat challenge, a burpee challenge, whatever. You just keep it fun, and I like to do little prizes like Shakeology water bottle or samples of Energize, things like that. But just create a community there in your challenge groups, and a lot of times I'll even have the challengers become accountability partners with each other a week or two in, once everyone's kind of gotten to know each other a little bit, and then they have that it's almost like an early season success partner for them, so they know what it is to push and challenge and motivate one another, and what it is to like coach and kind of almost be responsible for someone, and have someone responsible for them. So all of that being said is that, and none of that, you don't have to like flip the switch and know how to rock a great challenge group or lead clients through this. But you do have to be willing to try, okay? And then also it's kind of helping them navigate, like giving them that customer service of establishing you as their fitness professional, and taking care of them, making sure, we are growing so fast and we all know there are times when customer service misses the mark, right? And so we have the opportunity to set the tone and take care of our people, so that, because we are the brand, we are not branding Beachbody, but we get to partner with this awesome company, and we can help own that part of it, own that customer service part of it. And then instill belief in folks. Keep that door open. Every single challenger of mine, whether they're active in my groups or not, I talk to them about coaching, whether it's to save money as a VIP coach, discount coach, or I talk to them about the qualities I see in them that would make a great coach. So I'm instilling belief in them. Sometimes it takes a group or two for them to see it in themselves, but I always plant that seed early on and then nurture it. It's unique, and I cater it to them. I'm not going to lie to them and say, you're so outgoing and you're such a great energy when they don't post it all. Like, it's got to be tailored to them, right? But help instill belief and move them forward. Move them forward as a discount coach, or move them forward as, like, keep the door open for your next challenge group. Maybe the next challenge group offer a little bit of leadership, and maybe help start empowering them if they don't feel like people would see them as a coach. But it's a continuum, right? It's a process. And so you want to give them room to grow, If you keep them as a customer forever, they're probably going to burn out of challenge groups at some point. So you got to keep moving them forward on that continuum. I very much believe that, because there's always going to be some shiny new penny that's going to distract them. A new, like Soul Cycle, or that drumming class, or maybe a new gym, yoga studio opens up in their community. Give them a way to stay plugged in here. Find a new program that's going to challenge them once they finish their own. Help them, dial in more nutritional goals and set goals with them from group to group. Okay. All right. So we're going to go on because I don't want to talk. I know we started a little late, but we're going to go through belief again. Okay. BELIEF for new coaches. So we've gotten some basics down on how to instill belief in our customers. How do we instill belief and trust in new coaches? Okay. First and foremost, I'm going to ask you, do you believe? Are you here? Are you prepared to be here through the good and the bad? Are you committed and invested? This is not just for your first few months when it feels good and it's easy, but are you committing to give your business time to thrive and grow? It's the law of the harvest. You have to plant the seeds. You have to nurture it, water it. You have to till the soil, and you have to give it time. You have to nurture your own brain, your own mind, your own soul with personal development, and be all in. And if you're bringing coaches into this business, you owe it to them to be all in. You cannot bring in coaches and then orphan them. It is not okay to create orphan baby coaches in this business. So if you're I'm just front loading this, if you're bringing on new coaches in this business, you have to have committed to be here in a year, okay? To be here for the long haul and set the bar and be willing to lead by example in anything you're asking your coaches to do. That being said, let's go on. So, belief. So, some of this will be a little bit redundant, but it looks different from each different point of place you are on the continuum. So, again, as a new coach, you need to be proof of the products. As you're leading a new coach, you need to make sure that you're getting them started on the right program for them, the right program to fit their needs and goals. Put them in your challenge group, and from day one, help them access Beachbody On Demand while they're waiting for their challenge pack. Help them make sure they're liking their Shakeology and getting a really good recipe. And if they don't like it, you should know right away so that you can help them troubleshoot. Prepare them that they might have a tummy discomfort for their first few days, and problem solve that with them. But you've got to be, and as you continue to show that your proof their products work, help them know the importance of getting started and getting some results. I love to get coaches started with the program that's going to be right for them. But I try to, if I can do one of the 21 to 30 day groups programs, or even a kickstart, so they have the 3-day refresh, so that they've got instant wins, they've got instant results that they can build off of and build some momentum, then I try to do that. And then you're going to support those new coaches in your challenge groups because you're leading by example, and you can show them how a great engaging challenge group could run. So my process for those new coaches is they're a participant with me, okay? And their job is just to kind of get the feel of challenge groups if they didn't come as a challenger before, because I do attract a lot of like attracts like. So I do get a lot of folks who didn't do challenge groups before they started as business building coach. And then we co-lead one together. And then I support them as they run a challenge group with a cohort, my new coaches together. So I support them as they run their own groups, and then as they continue to grow. So be proof their products work, and then it's a kind of a gradual release process. But I do want to set them up for success with the right program, not the one that I'm doing, or even necessarily the hottest new one on the market. I want them to be picking one that's going to fit them, their goals, their intensity level, their workout, what they like and dislike, so that they're excited to push play every day. Okay, E, educate. Prepare your new coaches for the heavy learning phase. I don't think you need to scare away your new coaches, but you do need to prepare them that there's going to be a lot to learn in their first 6 months to a year. That they're going to be, we put the O word, overwhelmed, off limits in my team, because I do believe that that's a mindset and a choice that you can, if you say you're overwhelmed, you're just resigning yourself to giving up and not trying. So, but you can prepare them and give them the tools so that they are ready to tackle that all the information, okay? And that they know that it's going to feel like a lot sometimes, but the more they do it, it's going to become habitual, and you're just going to start teaching them those vital behaviors. But you also need to educate them and keep it simple for them, and not just throw them into this big, deep end of information KISS, keep it simple, sweetheart. Balance their knowledge incoming with action. Okay, and that's why I like my cohort model is that we're starting to run groups and we're posting and we're focusing on some of those simple things right away. And I just boil down those initial new coach things they need to know, like what the vital behaviors are, what Success Club and Emerald are, how to invite, how to post daily, and so that they're feeling those simple wins. Okay, so educate them with what they need to know at the point of time. So sometimes people aren't ready to start. They're just working on themselves, and they'll come right in saying, I'm only going to work on myself right now. So you wouldn't want to start training them on Success Club if really their goal is more like VIP or discount coach. So you also need to educate yourself on what their goals are and what their why is going to be and what their pace, how they want to identify as a coach. They want to identify as a discount, a hobby, or business building coach. And then give them the tools that are relevant for their stage, but always kind of be nudging them forward and encouraging them forward too. One expression I really love, and I always remind myself as I'm leading people through, is be a river, not a reservoir. Okay, so it takes just these tiny little rivers that carved out these amazing canyons in Arizona and Utah, but the reservoir just holds information. And what good does that do? We're going to carve our path in this life and change the world, but it has to be through taking action and failing forward. Prepare your coaches to fail. Prepare them that they're going to have people say no and ignore their messages and quit and cancel and say they're going to sign up and don't. Not to scare them, but so that they are not feeling like it's just them when it happens, because it's inevitable that's going to happen. Okay, live events is the L. Yes, it is the most important thing to kind of start building belief in that community that we talked about. So getting yourself and getting your new coaches to Super Saturday, going to Summit, when you can, but you also don't have to wait for those quarterly Super Saturdays to build live events in the community. I honestly, the reason I started watching my coach was because she was having girls' night out and coach networking dinners and was going to restaurants that I liked, and it was that social community that I didn't have because I was working so much. And so that's what caught my attention. And the more you can show that this isn't just you and your phone alone in your house, and that you've got a community of amazing men and women that are becoming your friends and your partners and your biggest cheerleaders, show that, because that'll inspire folks. But it also keeps people plugged in and invested in relationships. Just like any relationship, a marriage, it doesn't work unless you work on cultivating it. And it isn't always going to be perfect and rainbows. So just give people those relationships to hold on to. But don't wait for Super Saturday. Plan stuff. Plan fit clubs. Plan coach nights out. Plan volunteering days. You can even do margarita night. Or one of my girls, one of my leaders is doing a line dance, organized a coach night out going line dancing. And it's not about where your coach lives. There are coaches in your neighborhood, in your community. Find them. You build it and they will come. And they may not come there might not be 100 of them the first time. But the more you lead consistently, if you've got one other coach joining you for a coffee date, that's a coach outing. Post about it for your business. Breadcrumb your business with it. I have stepped up to lead in San Diego when I moved there. I didn't have any coaches in San Diego, but we just started planning stuff. Same when I moved to Tampa. I didn't have any coaches in Tampa. You give, being a go-giver. This is one of my other books I'll talk about in a minute. But being a go-giver, you invest in others before you're expecting them to invest in you. So find coach besties in your neighborhood and your community. Most every big market has their own Facebook page. So search North Carolina Beach Party Coaches and see what Facebook groups come up. Or ask your Star Diamond upline if they know any other leaders in your area, then that person might be able to connect you with a Facebook group. And then build your own tribe in your town. If your coach doesn't live near you, I wanted a tribe of friends and coaches and business partners in Portland, which is where I was living when I started. And so I intentionally tried to cultivate that. And I've done that everywhere I've lived because I've moved a lot with this business. And so live events. I cannot tell you this. If I said this is secret to success for recruiting, has been creating live events and then posting about it. Okay, and I is inform yourself and themselves. So help people understand themselves, but you also have to educate yourself about your coaches too. So I have my coaches take the color code test, which is an inventory on what motivates you. A lot of folks do the Danny Johnson GEMS test, which is like your personality type. I love the love languages. How do you feel love? Okay. So basically you want to just really get to know them. You can have them do all three. It doesn't matter. What motivates them? If they're motivated by fun, and all you're talking about is success club, success club, success club, and they're not feeling like that's inviting is very fun for them yet, then that's not going to resonate with them, okay? So you want to make sure you understand what motivates. So if you're offering prizes and recognition and someone just really wants quality time, okay, you're going to be missing the mark. And so make sure you know your coaches and that you're addressing them. So again, I send cards and love notes to my coaches. I'll send voice texts, and just make sure I'm reminding myself to, I have a lot of what we call pearl personalities on my team. So a lot of people who just really want to, like, kind of the Mother Teresas of the world, want to really go back, do good, and give back and make the world a better place, which we all do, but that they're not really motivated at all by having their name in lights and recognition and rank and prizes. They really, that's what they're motivated by. So when we hit hard goals for Success Club, they don't identify with that. So we also have to, I've also, as a leader, helped cultivate, like, we donate. We take those Success Club numbers and I donate on our team's behalf with a certain dollar amount to global charities. We do volunteering projects for Habitat and the food kitchen in our local neighborhoods and our communities, so that we are continuing to bring our hearts and align with this cause and this mission. And then I also plug those new coaches in with what the company is doing. Carl and the headquarters are always really supporting awesome causes, raising money for the wildfires in Fort McMurray this summer. There's a foster care kid charity event in New York. We've done a lot of fundraising for Wounded Warriors and Upward Bound House in LA, which is providing housing and security for families. So making sure that as a leader, you're always bringing it back to that and sharing that, which means you need to be educating yourself too, so that people can see, like, the greater good of what we're doing. Those Beachbody Challenge winners, like, those are lives being changed, and so continuing to share that. E is elevate. Okay, elevate and empower. So you really just want to continue to recognize them, to give them those little wins, to help them set month-by-month goals so that they feel like they have a point of focus and direction, and then set those simple goals, like Emerald Success Club, your first month, Success Starter. You can recognize and celebrate that. Encourage them. If you've done your homework and you know what their fears are and their struggles are, you can help them find versus conversely, so what their fears and objections were versus what was intriguing to them, what called to them, why they decided to coach. So you can really appeal to that side of them and help them have wins with that part. Like if they really wanted to have a community and a girl tribe, but they were afraid of having to post on social media, give them a chance to, like, connect and build that tribe first. And, like, give them help them baby step into social media versus just saying, like, well, you got to post or you won't be successful. Okay. And so helping them feel good, those simple wins from the beginning. Okay. And so, and the F there is, and then encouraging them along the way, just giving them lots of them. And the F there is fellowship. So giving that community, creating that team culture, and starting to plug into your upline team's culture, but also cultivating that friendship and that camaraderie there, doing one-on-one chats with your team, or starting to lead team meetings, and keep it fun and engaging for them, so that they, and then maybe doing a team vision board making party, so that they know your vision and your goals and where you're headed, but they also can find their own place in that. And then ground them in that vision and belief, and help continue to inspire them and breadcrumb back to how they can do this. Because a lot of times they'll come in with different goals and, oh, I could never do that, but I would like to do that. And your goal for your new coach is to help them set that year-long goal to be here in 1 year, but then also to start believing in themselves and to dream bigger. So one of our first assignments as with my team is to set a vision board, is to make a vision board and have them dream super big and huge. Some other PD for new coaches, again, the compound effect is essential. Okay, this is my number one for go-to. The Miracle Morning for network marketing professionals. Okay, that will help them get started. and get organized. The Energy Bus for new coaches. And I'm notorious about giving away some of my books. I don't have all of them. And then Go for No. So I send this book, most of this book or Compound Effect, to all my new coaches after they've finished their first month with a little like welcome note, and I give them some time there. So, okay, so I'm going to go on to leaders, and we're going to wrap up there, but I want to see if anybody had any questions, and I'm going to look through the comments there, about instilling belief in your new coaches. I'm looking through some of the comments really fast. Okay. If you have comments, let them go. Another book for new coaches. I think Miracle Morning for the Network Marketer is really helpful. But GoPro was really that one for me that gave me those tools and that knowledge, the framework that I was in a new type of business. I was in network marketing, gave me the confidence to release like my fear of being judged for being in network marketing, and gave me some confidence and a sense of badassery around like, yeah, I've got this awesome business model and I'm so excited for it. So GoPro, which is a book by Eric Worre, and I think I gave that one away recently to a new coach. Okay, so let's talk. I don't see any questions there for new coaches. We're going to finish up here briefly, but let's talk about leaders, how to instill belief in leaders. And I know a lot of you are growing into a leadership role, so some of this might be advice you take for yourself, but you could also be instilling this in your coaches as they're growing too. That's okay. We've all said the O word every once in a while, Susan. It's just not letting that rule you. Okay, so again, as leaders, we have to be proof of. So making sure you are hitting those important business goals, those business benchmarks, hitting Success Club no matter what, adding to your team and growing your team and going Emerald at least monthly, if not every other week, showing your own results, continuing to find new programs that are going to help you challenge your body and grow, trying different programs. So not being that, you can't be a leader and have done the 21-day fix 20 times. Okay, you have to continue to show, as a leader, I feel like when new programs come, embrace that new program. Show your team how to launch a new program. Try the Ultimate Reset. And really that was my big turning point for me. I did T25 to start with. That's what I signed up with. It was the hot new program. It's a great program. It wasn't the perfect one for me. I did the 21-day detox, the Ultimate Reset, 3 months into my business. It changed me. It changed my relationship with food. It changed my body. It gave me that belief and that win in myself. It showed me what I needed to learn. The 3-day refresh can do that for some folks, but find that program that's going to continue to challenge you and grow you. But you have to lead from the front, okay? So leaders fail first, they fail often, and they fail forward. So it's showing your team that, yep, you failed too, because no successful person in this world has gotten there without failing. But show them that how you use that to fuel you as a lesson that you learn to catapult you forward. Okay, so you have to continue to show proof the products work, but also proof that this business works. Show those basic business. This business is very simple. I do the same thing you guys do 3 years later versus a brand new coach. But I just do more of it now because I've got a bigger team. But it takes hard work. Okay, it feels hard sometimes, but it's simple. The formula is super simple. You show up, you run groups, you lead by example, you do those vital behaviors. And so you have to be proof that simple system works, and do it again and again and again. So E in the belief for leaders is educate and empower. As a leader, turn your answers into tools. So instead of answering the same question for 100 new coaches, turn it into a video. Put it on YouTube, and you can share that with your team. So then you start creating duplicatable systems. This is a business of duplication. This is a business of creating systems. So as a leader, start turning your knowledge that you've attained into systems and tools. And my team, we do Coach Tip Tuesday, and the up-and-coming leaders can share those little wins, those little simple things that are figuring out, and it's another way to encourage and empower them to say, hey, I do have stuff figured out. I am doing okay because I figured this one thing out. And then you share that and you help and you pay it forward. Because as a leader, we give all our best practices and our ideas. So start sharing coach tips in your team pages. Even if it's not your team page, you got to be a leader before you have to earn the right to be a leader before you're kind of just given that title. So turn your answers into tools and create systems. If you are sharing tips, create it into a template and make a template for coach tips. Turn your posts, your Shakeology posts, into a Shakeology template that your team can use. Use social media posting guides and start breaking down what you're doing to help other new coaches get started. Okay, L in belief for leaders is live events. Again, continuing to step up and help lead your local Super Saturdays. Continue to lead local coach events. Start talking to the market council and volunteering. Earn new leadership conference or the leadership conference in October in Coronado. Set some big goals and make sure you are showing growth and you're investing yourself in your business enough to get to those important goals so that you can experience those live events for the leaders in that company, because they are so fun. They are a game changer and you will learn so much. And then you will also show your team, just like earning the Success Club trip, you're going to give them something to work for, and you have to lead from the front. That's why going to Summit is a non-negotiable for leaders. Earning that Success Club trip and getting there, earning these other incentives. So attending live events and then encouraging and helping your coaches set goals to get there too. But they won't know how awesome it is until they see you posting about it. Okay, the I is inspire. It's also inform. Continue to inform yourself. Grow yourself in personal development. Your PD will grow and evolve based off of what you need to grow and evolve with. You can build up your strengths. You can support your weaknesses with personal development. But I think the I here is best if we say inspire. So as a leader, you're paving the way of where your team can go. So they know those simple wins, but what's the big goal? What is that big picture of what they can do with this business? I started out 3 years ago and I just wanted to quit waiting tables as a second job. When I saw those Upline Star Diamonds around me earning 5 figures a month, retiring their husbands from work, traveling the world, being debt-free, going up in rank, and earning these great recognitions, it inspired me. So share your inspiration as it goes. Maybe that's sharing your income, or more so what your income is doing for your life, not necessarily that income post, which you can do as you're earning it, but what is the income doing for your family? Travel. I'm about to go to India in a week. Instead of being in a school counseling's office in the middle of the school year, I'm going for 2 weeks to India. Share that success. That is a success for me. I am so excited that I'm able to do that for myself and my family. Paying for my wedding next May in cash. Without accruing debt, able to quit my job as a school counselor 9 months in, the level of happiness you have, and the freedom and the presence with your family, how it's improving your relationships. Continue to share and inspire your team, or find other successful stories of other coaches in the network. Plug into the coaches that are rocking it in this business. Success leaves clues. So find those coaches and breadcrumb it back and continue to share those stories with your team, because guaranteed it'll resonate with someone. It might light a fire in someone, but it'll also show that there's that proof that this business works. Okay, so elevate is recognize. Elevate, empower, encourage, build recognition systems as a leader in your team. Obviously, we celebrate Success Club, rank, leadership ladder, volume. In my team, we celebrate double emerald and triple emerald to continue to build growth. You can also, some other recognition systems I have in my team is when coaches do the programs and they share their results, we have a Transformer Award that I do on my team page. We have a Rockstar Newbie every month, a Leader of the Month, Catch Fire Coach. I'm always looking for ways for every single coach. How can I celebrate them? How can I recognize them and honor them and build them up? Because I don't know if anybody here not like to be celebrated and recognized. Okay. And my last one here is fellowship. You are in charge of your team culture. So you have to set the pace, the tone. You want to be real, but you also want to, if you're on a roller coaster, you need to shoulder that burden for your team and not drag them on that roller coaster with you. So set the tone, set the bar high, and set that team culture for your team too. Build a place of trust and safety and security, or whatever you're wanting your team culture to be, but nurture it and find ways to help your leaders grow within that and elevate them by giving them a chance to find their voice in that and to lead alongside you and empower them to go past you. So set that tone. I think there's so many other things that we can do to build belief, but I was asked to speak to those three levels of the continuum of the customer coach to leader process. So I'm going to wrap up here in a minute, but if anybody has any questions, go ahead and post them below. But I'm going to challenge you to craft your vision board and to dig in with all of your customers and your new coaches and make sure you know their why. Do you know everyone's why and what their biggest fear is? Okay, make sure you know both of those things, and then help them build some confidence around that why and growing forward, and then help them overcome those fears. Okay, and give them some wins around that too. So thank you for joining me today, and share below if you have, when you figure out what some of those, if you had any aha moments when you've had those conversations with folks today in your clients and your customer list or your coach list. Okay, have a great day, you guys.